Hello. Have you ever lost a dog or a cat or any pet that you've loved, been part of the family for years? I have today lost Mylo, a beautiful boy, King Charles Spaniel, Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and don't Cavalier King Charles Spaniel know they rule the roost? They are royalty of dogs. I loved him so much. He was 9 years, 4.5 months. I find it hard to talk about it, but I want to celebrate his life. I mean, it's 7th of July 2022 today, and I called the vet this morning who came out, did a home visit, and bless him, gave him the lethal injection. I didn't want him to suffer anymore. He'd been ill for a while. As you probably know, Cavalier King Charles Spaniels are fraught with health problems, mitral heart valve packing in or heart murmurs. Mylo was assessed 2 or 3 days ago by the vet as heart murmur rate 6, grade 6, which is the top. It's graded 1 to 6. A couple of months ago it was between 5 and 6, and then 2 days ago when I saw the vet, she graded him as 6, the highest heart murmur that there is. Nothing that can do, really, except up his medication. He's on 3 different types of medication for his heart problem. His lungs, she said, were clear, but his belly had lots of fluid in it, and you could see it. His belly was getting more extended every day. He lost the will to go out, the incentive and the will to go out for walkies. He loved his walkies. Just take him in the field at the back of the house. Yeah, and this morning, I stayed up with him all night last night. This morning, I normally give him his tablets. It takes about 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 tablets in the mornings, and the same at tea time. And I give him his tablets in a slice of chicken roll or ham roll. I had chicken this morning. He had 2 of the chicken slices with some tablets in, but I had 2 more to give him these other tablets, and when I offered him the chicken roll, he just turned away, just looked away, and wasn't interested in eating again. Drinking loads of water. He couldn't rest. His belly was so extended or distended that he couldn't rest. He couldn't lay down for long. Few minutes. He couldn't get comfy. He couldn't sleep. So he was absolutely exhausted. Bless him. He was falling asleep, standing up. He was sitting on his bottom. On his front legs kept slipping away from him. He was constantly trying to stay on his feet. Bless him. And lots of times in the last couple of days, I've scooped him up, picked him up, and put him on his blanket on the sofa. And he has got into a position where he's managed to get about 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe rest. I wouldn't say sleep. I could see his eyes were still half open, so he wasn't fully asleep. It's very distressing to see him like that. And then he'd walk down his little steps off the sofa, which I bought him some steps a few months ago to help him. And bless him, he managed to get out I'd opened the back door for him, and he managed to walk out onto the back lawn and do his business. He didn't do it in the house, bless him. He was really, really good to the end for that. But I stayed up with him last night. This morning, I was looking around the living room. Where is he? Where's Mylo? And I found him sitting on his bum again in the kitchen on the tile floor, slipping with his front feet. He couldn't stabilise himself very well. And I knew then today was the day. His time was up. I think Mylo knew too. He kept hiding himself away on his own, outside, on the decking outside. And a couple of times I scooped him up. It was about 15.2 kilograms when I took him to the vet 2 days ago. And scooped him up, put him on his bed, and so he did try and settle for a bit to rest his chin on the table next to the armchair, the sofa arm. But he couldn't settle for longer than about 15-20 minutes, as I say. He certainly couldn't sleep, not proper sleep. And then he walked down the sofa steps, went into the kitchen. He was drinking lots of water, but he wouldn't touch any food, even his favourite treats. Couldn't get him to entertain them. He just turned his nose up at them. And he was just sat in the corner of the kitchen, as I say, on the tiles, slipping all the time, it was like sleep deprivation. It was like torture for him, bless him. And I knew it was time. He knew it was time. I could see in his eyes. He looked so sad. His big brown eyes looking at me. So I rang the vet up, and they came within about 45 minutes. And although today started off, the weather overcast, it was dry, but about a quarter of an hour before the vet arrived, the bright sunshine shone out, and Mylo could see, shut his eyes. He was basking in the sun. I'd put his blanket outside on the decking at the back, and he was getting the last day of sun rays. He loved sunbathing. And so I decided when the vet came 10 or 15 minutes later that we'd do the horrible deed back outside. When the vets came, he'd moved again. He'd gone under one of the chairs. Got chairs out the back garden. He was sat under one of the chairs. I had to move the chair and lift him up and go take him on his blankie on the decking. The vet who saw him 2 days ago, Susie, I wanted her to come. She came with another nurse, and they shaved a bit of his fur off his front left leg. She said, I'm going to give him one injection. I said, well, shouldn't you give him two? Like, the first is a sedative, and then the second stops the heart when he's asleep. No, I don't think we need to give him two. I said, I'll give him one. I said, well, what would that be like giving him having a heart attack and suddenly dropping dead? No. It's past some sedative in there, so he'll just drift away, and then his heart will stop. Okay, I says, yeah, we'll go with your plan. And that's what the vet did. Shaved a little patch off his front left forearm, put the injection in, and it was quite a big injection, a lot of fluid to go in. And Mylo he never yelped or showed any signs of pain, and he just drifted off within 10 or 15 seconds, I'd say. maybe it's because he was tired as well. But yeah, she checked his heart with a uh, stethoscope, and said, "Yeah, he's gone. He's gone." Okay, and then about 30 seconds later, I says, "Well, he hadn't expelled the air out of his lungs. He hadn't gasped or anything like that. His last breath." She says, "Sometimes they don't," and suddenly he did. He started spasming about 4 times over about 30 seconds, and it wasn't nice to see, but it's exactly what happened with Charlie, my other dog, who we had to do the same thing a year ago, 1st of July 2021. But we took him to the pet crematorium in the afternoon. They were really nice. And I'm picking his ashes up tomorrow in a scatter tube. Although we got Charlie a year ago, in the scatter tube, and he's still on the dresser. But anyway, so upset that Mylo, Mr. Mylo, as I called him affectionately a lot of times, Magoo, Mr. Mylo, Magoo, Mr. Magoo, sausage. Love him so much. Mylo, I will always love you. You're always in my heart, darling. I can't believe you're not here anymore. Can't believe I won't get up in the morning and you'll see me and your tail was wagging like mad. I loved his daddy. But he's gone now to a better place. It was no life to live the way he was in the last couple of days. So his belly was massive with fluid intake. There was nothing else I could do for him. So he's gone to Doggy Heaven to meet Charlie and Lulu and Socks and Benny. If cats are in heaven as well, you won't know them, but family pets. And I love you so much, Mylo. I always will. You'll always be in my heart. I'll always remember you. We've had some great times, some great laughs together, haven't we? You've been such a good, lovely, gentle, kind boy. Anyway, I'm going to end it here because I'm getting a bit upset again. I've been crying most of the day because I miss him so much. And life won't be the same without my best little friend. I don't want you to be in heaven, man. I want you to be here with me, but I know it was the best thing to do. I love you so much. I will see you another day, one day, when we all meet up in heaven. Oh, sweetheart, rest in peace, darling. You have a good long sleep. You can sleep now. You can rest now. I love you, darling.